She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Today we're talking about becoming an investor. Now, honestly, when that leaves my mouth, I literally, I can't even believe that I say that. I grew up on welfare in a violently abusive, drug-infested home. I was pregnant at 17 out of wedlock, homeless, and already divorced at 21, with $2.03 to my name and a $35,000 debt. Never in 1,000 years did I ever think that I would ever be an investor, number one. Number two, that I would teach people how to invest. I was the last person on earth to have this conversation with you, and I was the least likely person to succeed. I was dyslexic, I dropped out of high school, went back the last 2 months to just get my diploma, finished out my last 4 classes. I was a teen pregnancy my senior year, so I just cut out, worked full time, and I was like most people. Got my first credit card when I was 19, and then I had 5 of them, and then I had $35,000 charged on them. I financed my car. You know what I'm saying? I did what most people did, and I failed miserably, like most people are. So you can become an investor if you are willing to learn, work, and try. If you're willing to have a little bit of focus in the direction of learning how to become an investor, you can become financially independent. In fact, it's the only way to become financially independent is learning to get your money working for you. Now, I know I'm not the first person that has told you that. I'm not going to be the last person that has told you that. But we asked the question out to our audience if they are currently an investor, if so, into what? And if they're not, why not? So we have perfect time right here in the next few minutes. We're going to hear from 2 different individuals who are the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm actually going to have them talk to each other. We're first going to start with Gene from Memphis, Tennessee. Hi, Gene. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dani. Thank you.
So good to have you here. Hey, so you are an investor.
I am.
And how did you become an investor?
Well, I sort of fell into it. I had some friends of mine that were investors, and I got into it and started investing in houses and also started investing in rent-own contracts. And that is basically a contract that people pay, basically renting a storage shed, and you're financing it on a rent-own contract. So basically got involved through that, and it's basically changed our lives.
How? How has it changed your life?
Well, like you said earlier, when you have your money working for you, you no longer have to work for your money. And basically, we started about 6 years ago, and to this day, we now have over 7 figures under capital management, and that's all debt-free.
Wow.
And it is putting out about $50,000 a month in cash flow. Wow. And so that's what has really given us the freedom to do whatever we want to do. We're a young married couple. My wife and I have been married for 3 years, and we have a little boy, and we have the second one on the way. And it allows us to just be able to spend more time with the kids and do fun things. And so, yeah, that's really how it's changed our lives.
Okay, so Gene, how much capital were you able to start with? I mean, did you come from a wealthy family? Did you have, an inheritance, trust fund, something like that helped for you to get started in this direction?
I do come from a family that's well off, and but literally zero capital. I started very young, and but yeah, basically built it from the ground up. No capital from friends or anything. I did bring in some other investors that believed in my strategy and that sort of thing. But here about 4 years ago, I paid them off, and so now it's just literally my wife and I, and we have some staff in the office, that sort of thing. But yeah, we basically saved, and when you're making money, when your houses are cash flowing, you want to take that money and reinvest it. You don't want to go blow that money. If you go spend that money, your seed capital's gone. So what we did is we really lived frugally, and we still do to this day, but we really focused on compounding our investments, and that is what has just expanded our business exponentially, is reinvesting the money that you're making, and that's where all the difference comes in.
Okay, so you're using some terms that maybe Alan, who is on the phone from Citrus Heights, California, that he may be not understanding. So let me just break a few things down really quick. So first of all, you came from a family that had wealth, but they did not give you their wealth for you to start building yours. But what they did give you was the wealth of knowledge of being frugal. They gave you the wealth of the understanding of don't eat your cash flow. Live really frugal, live really simple, and take a portion of what you make and put that into other things that are going to grow your income. So, for example, you were talking about rental properties, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so purchasing a house and you're using other people's money to purchase the house, whether it's a bank or it's a private investor, meaning someone that you know that's willing to back the purchase with their money. They've got cash sitting somewhere. You're going to pay them interest on that property. Okay. So you bought that rental property. You have a payment on it of how much? I want to break it down for those who are watching that are like I was forever ago, totally oblivious to investing. To break it down like we're talking to my children, which our children learned how to invest. So how much did you purchase the house for, let's say?
Let's say $50,000.
Exactly. So you took a loan on that house for $50,000, and what was your payment on that house?
The payment on that house was around $300 a month.
Exactly. And then how much were you able to rent that house out for?
$950.
Okay, so you have $650 a month of cash flow. That's cash flow, right? So that's money coming in. And so what 98%ers do, 98% of the population ends up dead or dead broke, is they go, oh my gosh, I got $650. And they go spend the $650 on clothes or going to the movies, going on a vacation, buying the new iPhone. They're just always spending that money. But that is what you heard Gene say is seed capital. That money, that $650, is not spending money. That money, when he now was talking about compounding the seed money, was what? Explain what that is in, layman Walmart terms, Gene.
Well, your seed capital is your investment to turn around and reinvest, and that's compound interest.
Okay, so time out. You just said a bunch of terms that Walmart does not understand, Gene. Even with that sweet Memphis, Tennessee accent, you're talking about high-level terms that we don't get. Okay, so please be Memphis with me, because we have people watching. They're going, their eyes are glazing over. All we see is the whites in their eyes because their eyes are in the back of their head, and they're totally falling asleep. So you cannot make my audience fall asleep, Gene. Okay, so anyway.
I'm trying to
So I'm going to break it down real simple. You are $300 a month is payment on the house. The renters are giving you $950 a month. So that's $650 a month of cash, right? So that's what we call cash flow. That is seed money. So seed is designed to be planted again, because then it will reproduce itself again. So what do you do with that $650?
Reinvest it.
Where do you reinvest it into?
Another house.
Exactly. Exactly. So now we go pick up another $50,000 house that costs $300 a month, right?
Yep.
And what do we do with it?
We reinvest it. We purchase it and we reinvest that cash flow again.
So now we have $1,300 a month if we have two rental properties that are renting for $950 and cost $300. So now that's $900 a month. So you keep doing this activity, and if you got 10 of those houses, how much do you have per month in cash flow?
You've got $6,650.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It is. That's someone's entire year's worth of salary, but we're making that now monthly.
And I'll share this with your listeners as well, Dani. We're literally in our 5th year of starting this business. We started with literally zero money, and we just bought our 60th home.
Wow.
And I believe if I'm stating this right, if this helps your listeners as well, I believe we only have debt against about 15 of those houses.
Wow. Which that debt against those houses is backed by assets. It's backed by, it is an asset. It's hopefully an appreciating asset. We really don't know if it is or not, but we do know that you're not the one paying the interest on it. The renters are paying the interest on it.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. It's a great business model. It really is a stunning business model. 60 houses. How old are you?
34.
I'm so proud of you, man. That is amazing. You can hear the peace of mind in your voice. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do. I want to bring Alan on, and I want him to ask his question. I'm going to keep you with me, and I actually have both of your lines open at the same time. Oh, I just killed his line. How awesome is that? Hey, Alan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Okay, hold on one second. Trisha, I hope you have Gene's phone number. We need to call him back. I want to get him on here. And then second of all, Rachel, it's really loud in my ears. Okay, Alan? Dude, did you just learn something from Gene?
Oh, man, totally. Holy cow.
Isn't that rad?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is like exactly the stuff I wanted to know. It's just insane.
Yes. And Alan, I want you to know this is exactly what my husband and I have done in different ways, in different things. We've done it with rental properties. But I got to tell you something, Alan. My son Roman is at 15 years old. He bought his first rental property.
Wow.
At 15.
That's amazing.
He's now, he'll be 21 in September. Okay. So look at this. So at 15 years old, he's a landlord and he's yielding $600 a month on a rental property. His tenants don't even know he's the landlord.
That's awesome.
Because they're almost old enough to be his father. Which is wild. So anyway, Alan, I am so happy to hear that you understood exactly what what Gene was saying. But this is how you create wealth, clearly. All right, so Gene, we've got you back.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right. So what do you say? I have a hair tickling my mouth right now. It's driving me crazy. Okay. All right. So, Gene, we just lost that. So something crazy is happening with our phones right now. It's awesome. Awesome. Okay. So basically, becoming an investor is not as difficult as it may seem. It's not as hard as you may think. It really isn't, friend. It's a very simple thing to learn how to do. So how do we do it? How do we start there? You see, this is what I love about what Gene was sharing. And I hope that you didn't just fly over your head. Because what we tend to do is we say, oh, well, if you come from a successful family, then of course you got an easier start in life. Hold on, friend. Every child has advantages and disadvantages. The advantage that Gene had was his parents taught him to live frugal. His parents taught him how to invest. They didn't give him the money to invest. They also taught him the value of work and having the proper work ethic. That's what he learned as a child. And so the bottom line is whether you learned that as a child or you're learning that in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, it doesn't matter where you learn it or when you learn it. What matters is that you learn it. That is what matters, friend. So you just learned today that, okay, I can see. Now, again, what makes it so difficult is that all the investing shows and investing talk gives you terms that you do not understand. I've worked on my husband for years to use Walmart language as he teaches his classes in investing because we want to learn how to do it. We've not been trained to do it, but we can learn to do it and we can learn it quickly. And so, okay, so let's just say that, there's not houses in your area that you can buy in Citrus Heights, California, for example, in Alan's situation for $50,000. You're right, there is not. However, there's other places around the country that are, and there's other things that you can do in the same exact concept, same exact principle, which I want to ask Gene about right now. Gene, you said that not only did you have rental properties, which, by the way, you got disconnected when Alan was on. He was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I wanted to learn, which is so cool. So, Gene, you also said, I want you to explain, and I'm going to stop you every time you say a term that no one understands or that most people don't understand. But you were saying something about renting out a building?
Yeah, what we do is we have a construction company as well, and we build all kinds of storage sheds in people's backyards.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is it's a philosophy that's called rent to own, no credit check. And so what we do is we go and build a shed, sell it to you for $3,000, put it on a rent to own contract. A lot of folks in Memphis do not have $3,000, but they are stuck in a self-storage unit. They want to get out of that unit, so they want to move their stuff out of the self-storage into a storage shed in their backyard. They don't have $3,000, so they want to give you $150 a month for 5 years.
Wow.
So do the numbers. It's pretty incredible what you turn into. And
so what's the numbers? What's the numbers? Give us the numbers. And I got to tell you something that is so brilliant, right? So what you're doing is what the storage units have done. They're spending $150 a month on their storage unit, but they never own
Absolutely.
it. They never own it.
That's exactly right.
So how do the numbers turn out? So you're charging them interest on the $3,000.
You are, you can't really call it interest, but you can call it a rental fee. It's a little bit like a lease purchase with a house. It's
totally
sort of the same philosophy.
Yes.
But literally, your returns on investment are probably upwards of around 35-40%, somewhere in that realm. And check this out. Their homeowner's insurance covers all the goods that they put into that storage shed. So if you're going to the local self-storage place and storing your stuff there, you have to take out a renter's policy to cover your goods. Whereas here, you can come into my office, you can buy a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 shed, and you can do that by only putting $150 down. Now, guess what? If you don't make your payments, we're going to come repossess your shed and all the stuff that's in the shed. So you don't want to let that happen.
Right.
But it's a great business model. This model is actually all over Texas. It's all over the country. If you go looking, you'll see storage sheds everywhere.
Yes.
And you'll see the rent to own, no credit check, and that's literally what our company does. We built a very niche model here in Memphis, and right now we have right at about 1,000 units that we have on rent-own contracts.
So smart, Gene. So smart. I absolutely love it. And the truth is that you have major leverage, right? Because the first thing that comes to mind to a non-investor is like, but what if they don't make the payment? Well, it's in the contract that you get to repossess all of their items that are in there, which means what? You get to sell all the items that are in there. You're going to make money doing that if that ends up happening. And you get to now repurpose that unit. That exact unit gets picked up and gets to be rent-to-owned now on somebody else's piece of property. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We are doing the same thing with being the bank for people who are purchasing homes, right? So we're the bank. We're no longer renting out the properties ourselves, but we are now providing the money for people to buy properties themselves. And so it's the same exact concept what you're talking about, right? So we actually end up owning that property, but the homeowner, in one case, the homeowner is renting out the property themselves. If they default on it, we keep that deposit. We've made money every single month, and now we get to repossess the house. The house is now ours that we get to do what? Go resell the house again, and we will personally finance that house again. So anyway, that's like less liability even for us at this point. We're not dealing with the renters anymore. We're just the bank and just bankrolling that money month after month after month after month. Oh my gosh, Gene, you are the perfect person to call in. I am so grateful for you. Alan, did you hear that other idea?
Dude, totally. And I'm in construction as well, and I love that idea so much. Like, that sounds so applicable. Man, oh man, this is blowing my mind. This is amazing stuff.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. So, and you even in construction, I mean, there are places you can build houses very, very cheaply. It doesn't matter that you're in California. You could take a trip somewhere, build some small things in a month, turn that into a rental. I mean, there's so many different ways to slice this thing up and dice this thing up and make money. The issue, Alan, is that you got to unplug from that 98% mindset that every single one of us have been born into, Gene as the exception of born into a 2% family, right? But all of us have been conditioned to make money and blow it. Make it, blow it, right? What do construction guys blow money on? Beer? Boats? Video games, right? It's like, I work my butt off all day. I want my reward. No, dude, no. There is a greater reward. and being really frugal, living really simple. Let your friend buy the boat. You go on the boat with him. You know what I mean? Let your friend buy the video games. You can go to their house and play them. Forget the beer. It's not good for you anyway. But the point is, and as well as junk food. Like we buy, so when we say living frugal, it's like there's no soda in our house. We don't have junk food in our house. We chose to live like that because we chose to take money and turn it into our slave. So as you just heard from Gene, Gene's money is making him money every single month.
Yeah.
And you heard $50,000 a month. That's almost $1 million a year, dude.
Yeah.
And he started with nothing 6 years ago.
I need to get on some of that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you do. Yeah. And it's simple. You both are in construction. You both have the opportunity. The key is you have got to take those first steps to creating wealth. And this one I love. Gene basically read the chapters inside this book about investing. Literally, meaning as though as he was talking, I'm like, that's in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book. I was dying. As you can see, I was like laughing as he's talking. I'm like, this is so good. First Steps to Wealth. Alan, I don't know if you have it. You can download a free copy of it right now. It literally shows you, one, how to declare war on debt and how to actually take your finances and turn it into a fun way of dealing with your finances where you're robbing the marketplace of your money that they're stealing from you. And now you're going to purpose that money, as you heard Gene talking about. We talk about 2 chapters in this book about investing, as well as called War on Debt. And so it's step by step how to do it. And the first 3 chapters of the book helps you work through the things of the past that have stopped you, the mindsets that are hindering you. Once you see what they are, you're going to stop thinking like that and start thinking the way that you should be as an investor. And then 2 more chapters on here on how to form relationships with people, as Gene did. He formed relationships, strategic relationships with people. He learned to present an opportunity to somebody that was willing to invest into him. That's all inside of this book called First Steps to Wealth. So simple read, Walmart language. You're not going to hear compounding investments in this book. It's a simple Walmart language. It's free. If you go to DaniJohnson.com right now, you'll see it right on the homepage. Just click. Give us your email so we can email you and download the copy of the book for you. And if you want a physical copy, you pay the shipping. I'll send you the $15 book. And guess what? I cannot tell you how many thousands of testimonials we have had of people who just reading this book started becoming an investor. I have a woman who started 2 companies. I could tell you stories for hours and hours and hours of people who today are financially independent because it all started with a book called First Steps to Wealth. So take your first steps to wealth right now. DaniJohnson.com. Download it if you want the free. If you want the physical big book, you pay the shipping. I'll pay for the book. All right, that's it for us. Listen, what an awesome radical show today. That was just so perfect. I love everything that got shared on both sides. Please share this with people. Freely you receive today's show. Freely you can give it to others. Come on, guys. We got to fight against this society that wants people to be broke. We have got to fight against these marketers who are raping and pillaging generations to come with showing us their sexy new phones and their sexy new computers and their sexy clothes and their sexy alcohol and all the sexy stuff that they're selling us, which is depleting our money that should be going into investing and producing, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $300,000 a month. It's endless, the amount that you can create once you start getting your money working for you. All right. And then at that point, have a little bit more fun with that cash. Hey, yeah. But we're talking about more fun than playing video games. We're talking, let's travel the world, man. Let's go see the globe. Let's eat ourselves around the world. Let's go create some amazing, amazing memories, not on our cash, but on generational wealth, meaning your wealth has produced itself over and over again, and bam, now you get to eat of it and enjoy that time. Most importantly, you enjoy peace of mind, fulfillment, and satisfaction. So get your copy of First Steps to Wealth immediately, and I hope that you get on out and join us at First Steps to Success. Get into this 3-day boot camp that works you over and develops and trains you up to become that financially free person that you truly want to be. All right, that's it for us. See you later. Goodbye.